There are three useful charts in the professional world. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Zoe. I'm a corporate strategist at a Fortune 500 company. So in this video, I want to show you why we use charts, i.e. the purpose of a chart, why there are only three useful charts, what they are, and when you should use them. The purpose of the chart is to convey a complicated message in a short amount of time, especially when you're asking a CEO millions of dollars for your project, and the CEO might not be as familiar with your project and or have 10 other things that is on her mind. In this case, a chart is a very useful tool to get the message across. Effective charts should stick to these three fundamental principles. The first is clarity and simplicity. The primary goal is to relay information in a very clear and efficient manner. What that means is that to make it simple. Charts should be as straightforward as possible, but still convey the essential message. The second is accuracy and integrity. Charts should reflect the data that they represent. The third is audience and context relevance. Charts should be designed with the target audience in a specific context in mind. A PowerPoint deck and a chart should match the viewer's expertise level and the situational demands for decision making. So I used to be a management consultant. Consultants are famous for liking charts, PowerPoints, and late night meetings. So one late night, we were working on the presentation deck, and we were trying to create a page that outlined the difference between the two approaches. So my boss turned to me and said, "Let's do a tornado." No, not an actual tornado that destroyed people's houses, a tornado chart. A tornado chart is a type of sensitivity analysis data visualization. They are designed to illustrate how variations in individual variables can influence a specific outcome. But despite its intention and design, a tornado chart often violates the three principles that we just outlined because of its complexity and its potential for misunderstanding. Its format demands the viewers first to understand what they are before the viewers can interpret the underlying data. This will increase the risk of creating misconfusion and misunderstanding. Humans typically struggle with accurate comparing scales visually, a challenge that's also shared by pie charts. In addition, tornado charts also have the same problem as the busk and the whisker chart. I made a mistake once using it in a CEO meeting. It was horrible. We spent the first 10 minutes explaining the chart rather than discussing the insights. 10 valuable minutes. So, what are the only three chart types? The first one is bar chart. Bar charts are very ideal for comparing distinct categories or items, making them suitable for highlighting the differences and the trends over and across categories. If you ever work in retail at some point, you will be asked to examine your customer base. This is called customer segmentation. You segment the customers based on the different attributes, usually based on their transaction history, their basket size, visit frequency, and then determine which segment should we target with our limiting marketing budget. So in a sense, this is about customer assessment and resource allocation. You will want to use your limited marketing budget on 20% of the customer who contribute 80% of your revenue. Because of their past transaction history, they are way more likely to respond to your marketing efforts. A side note about waterfall charts. So this is also an acceptable variation of the bar chart introduced by McKinsey. The waterfall chart excels at detailing the sequential contributions of different elements to a final result. It's best used to illustrate how initial values are altered or changed through a series of intermediate changes to reach a final value. This is especially useful explaining what works and what does not work in a corporate setting. You start out where you are and then add or subtract the revenue based on the actual or anticipated revenue results from your initiative. So the second type of chart is line chart. Line charts are ideal for showcasing trends over time, emphasizing how data evolves. Line charts are useful for visualizing continuous data, especially when emphasizing changes and trends over intervals like time. Take any key metrics that the business case mentions, such as sales, profits, market share, price gap against competitions, and it's easy to identify trends, seasonality, and anomalies over time. Take toys as a category. In the annual sales chart, you are likely to see the sales spike during holiday season. This observation of seasonality helps retailers manage their inventory and sales forecast. Another use for a line chart is forecasting and projections. Finance does this a lot. We can build sales projections, demand forecasts, and budget prediction based on historical patterns. We should always use line charts for continuous data across consistent intervals, like dates, rather than category comparisons. Bar charts are better suited for that purpose. The third acceptable chart is Gantt charts, project manager's best friend. Gantt charts are used for planning and visualization for project timelines, milestones, tasks, and dependencies. We will use Gantt to plan the project. So before the project even starts, outline the key activities that will drive project success, the milestones we need to hit to ensure that we are on track, the desired outcomes we want to achieve at the end of the project, and the frequent weekly check-ins with cross-functional teams on progress and potential issues. If you find this content helpful, check out this video where I explain 10 cognitive biases that cloud our personal and professional judgment. Talk to you next time.